G'day, we're still looking at Genesis 17 and the story of Abram, or Abraham, as we see that in Genesis 17. So I'm going to read to us from verse 1 to verse 14. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless, that I may make my covenant between me and you and may multiply you greatly. Then Abram fell to his face, and God said to him, Behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you into nations, and kings shall come from you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your offspring after you throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and your offspring after you. And I will give to you and your offspring after you the land of your sojournings, the land of Canaan, for all everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said to Abraham, As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your offspring after you throughout their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep, between me and you and your offspring after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised, and shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be the sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male throughout your generations, whether born in your house or bought with your money from any foreigner who is not of your offspring. Both he who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money shall surely be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh, an everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. We're going to read to there. So this story brings us back to Israel. The Israelites coming back to their own place after being in exile. And they might ask, who are we? Where are we going back to? Where's our connection? And then be reminded of this story again, that they are God's people. They are children of Abraham. And that God has had a covenant and still has a covenant with them, which is visible on their body. But the thing is that they need to live this covenant out into the world. They need to be righteous. They need to be people of God. And they need to be accompanied by God Almighty and live as if God is Almighty. I think this is a great promise to them, but also a great inspiration that they are not alone, that God is with them. And in the moments that they are insecure in their politics, insecure in going back home, insecure in where they are, that they can know that they are accompanied by God. They are joined to God. That God is still their God, and they don't need to be scared because God will be with them going forward. I think we can also hold on to this promise today, that we are God's children, that we are connected to God, and that so we can also live a life that is connected to God. Maybe a practical way could be how we are at home, that our promises to our kids be kept. We are, after all, I think, the prototype for them of how God is, and that they can see some of God's love, but also God's promise in how we act, so we can keep our promises. I think also that we keep our promises in business, that our contracts say and do what we are going to do, that we don't try and slide away through loopholes, but that we live as if our word is our honor. I think that's a challenge for us as Christians today, for us as believers, to say that we are people of our honor, we are people of our word, and we are connected to God as God's people. May we see other people in that light as well, that we invite them as people that are seen and loved by God. May you have a blessed week. Cheers.